exactly where we are. We just, we haven't played that bad. We just haven't got the results. And there's some games where we probably didn't deserve the result we got when we won. And there's, we're right now, these are tight games. There's just things that we can do a little bit better to give us a better chance to win.
Do you have to experience that? Like, is it one thing to say, especially to a younger group, the games are going to get tougher, the margin of error is going to shrink, and is it like, have they had to go out there and experience that maybe these last 4 games for it to really sink in?
Well, the young guys do, but there's a lot of guys that have been here before. So,
yeah.
I didn't like the way we started the game last night, and that's not just on young guys. That's getting engaged in the game early and doing what you have to do to be successful. And there's no team in the league that's going to excel in chasing games from behind, just simple as that. So there's some things that we've got to do a lot better, and that goes right throughout our group, not just our young guys.
But you said, there's some guys like a Martin, they get it. They realize what they have to bring to the table to rise to this intensity. And I mean, is that indicative of the role they can play, or why do you see the disparity, do you think?
Well, there's some guys that are geared to really, it's all out work. And some guys just tend to rely on their skill a little more. And right now, you need everybody to work in games.
Mm-hmm.
We in the media seem to put a lot of emphasis on getting a lead in a game, 1-0. But is there something to that, Dave? Could this group, given what's happened the last 3 or 4 games, could a 1-0 lead tomorrow really serve them well?
Well, it's not just get a lead, it's start the game. I mean, feel good about what you're doing, not feel like you're chasing the game. Like we've been in games where we feel like we're playing really well, and even though we don't score, you just keep doing the same thing. And there's other games where you feel like, you're not playing well, your goalie's standing on your head, you better get going. So it's not always about getting a lead, it's the process of how you're playing. And you get a good read on your team early, and we're willing to commit to get into a real hard, intense game. That shows in not just individual players, but if you got enough individual players in that mode, it shows throughout your team.
Has that been the case for all these last 3 games, maybe, where there's been
up and down?
Just the process
up and down.
There.
Well, no, you look at the Jersey game. We dominated that game. I mean, that game was, the Buffalo game is a tight game. Tight game.
But in the first period, like the starts?
Well, I mean, the Buffalo game, you look at it, neither team, like that was a feeling out. Like there wasn't a lot going right, but not a lot going bad either, So every game is different. Like there's trends. Like I think we can start better and start with a better mindset and get in the game, and that was evident last night.
Does a lot of the focus then be put on your puck play and your offense, the 5-man unit in front of your goalie, because you're not giving up 5 goals every night. I mean, you're only getting 1 or 2 in.
It's on all of it. You've got to play well. You have to execute well, but there's times even though when you're executing well, you got to defend well. So it's the whole package. Like it's not if you could say, okay, we do this better, that fixes everything. That's not the case. You're always trying to improve all the parts of your game all the time. Last night, the 2 things I stay by what I said, our execution wasn't very good last night, and when we did execute and get around battles, we didn't win enough battles, for pucks. And then if you do that, you're going to chase the game. You're chasing it because you turn it over, or you're chasing it because you're not winning enough battles.